traffic.
No, no. I mean, especially, gosh, I don't know, the East Coast generally, just because terrain, you know, you can't just go whichever direction you want because there's a river in the way or a mountain in the way or whatever. And of course, in Florida, well, it's long and skinny. So guess what? Everyone's going the same way.
Yes, yes. So I'm not sure where he was down in West Palm or where he was at, but yeah, he's
Yeah, not sure.
I think the from what he said, Google said it's going to be a 7-hour drive, and then updates it and says, "Oh, it's going to be an 11-hour drive." I mean, that's like,
Oh,
that's
that's just,
pretty brutal. Tacking another 4 hours on. So
oh my gosh, yes.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
the thing is especially if you are between cities,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to be in standstill traffic is just unbearable. I'm supposed to be going 70, 75, right?
Right.
Instead, I'm going nothing. And by the way, the next exit could be a mile and a half, 2 miles away. So it's not like you can even dump off and do something else, besides which, there is no other way to get where you're going. So you're just stuck. Ugh, miserable.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, all right. Well, mayhaps we'll see him.
Well, I have a
Mayhaps we
question
won't.
for you before we
Okay.
dive into things. I was
Uh-huh.
curious. Um, do do cavalry have what is it? A line hook? So I know the infantry. There were times in the last battle that you put them where they hook to the left or hook to the right.
That's right.
Do
That's
you
right.
have something similar for cavalry or not?
I don't think so. No. I think that would be a. Oh, what am I doing? I don't have my rules and things here. No. I think that would be an infantry thing only.
Okay,
So
that's
you're
what I
worried
was
about
curious
you're
about.
worried about your flank somehow.
Yeah, and there doesn't seem to be any way of like covering it other than by having another cavalry unit there. But then that cavalry unit, I mean, my guys don't have really good morales. So I'm like,
Oh, I see.
okay. And so I'm supposed to intercept you somehow or whatnot.
Well,
Although the rule is still the same where you have to attack everybody you're adjacent to, correct?
oh yes.
Okay, okay. So just maybe me existing there is enough. Whether my guy launches a interception attack or not, right?
Oh yes, yes, certainly that's true. Yeah, if by chance I'm over here looking at your cavalry,
Right,
if I were here and you had moved this guy up here,
right.
I mean, I mean, yeah, I got to attack both you guys.
Okay, okay. That's what I was trying to
At
figure
least,
out.
at least,
Because, like,
well,
how
okay.
do
Now
you cover
hold
that
on, hold on.
flank when?
I'm gonna go get the rules
Okay.
because I don't want to be. Well, it's like being in a meeting without a whiteboard. Just can't do it. So I'll be back.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna check something because I always want to be sure about this when we do 13.6. All units that are still designated to make a close combat attack must attack all enemy units in their zones of control that are not already being attacked by some other friendly unit.
Okay. So I guess that's the only way you could kind of cover a flank is
Well,
have some other units that are there.
yeah, certainly that is obviously one way is yeah, I could just countercharge somebody who's coming into his flank.
Right.
That would certainly be a thing. If you don't like that, then yeah, just your mere presence is going to reduce the odds quite a bit. The third one is remember there was that optional rule we talked about, and we talked about a bunch of optional rules, and then I don't know if we ever really established the where we're going to use which ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's one that is here. I am looking for it. Um, It's ridiculous. You gotta be right here. Bar optional rules. Okay, I'm not sure what it was doing there, but okay. Um, reaction movement. 25 dot. No, that's not it. Keep scrolling, Michael. There it is. Um, if during its movement phase an active enemy unit moves into a hex or expends any movement points in a hex that is 2 hexes away only from a non active infantry or artillery unit, or 2 or 3 hexes away from a non active cavalry unit, the non active unit may react to the enemy move. This reaction movement follows all the same rules as close combat defender reaction, except where noted here. Um, basically, if I were charging you, you'd have
Hmm.
the option to change facing to face me.
Right.
You'd forego countercharging because you took up your time doing that. And you do have to roll a disorder check based on how many movement points you used in the course of your change of facing.
Okay.
Um, so that's something that's always been in the rules, and that's when you're being charged. This optional rule basically says, well, you can do that anytime somebody's 2 hexes away, whether they're charging you or not, just during their movement. Now, the key is, of course, you can only do it once.
Yeah.
Well, let's read what it says. You can make 1 or 2 hex point hex side facing change. You can move forward or backward 1 hex. Or you can make a formation change that involves up to a 1 hex alteration in size. Note that upcharge for the reacting player is not part of reaction movement. It occurs through the normal procedures. Although reaction movement may set up the reacting cavalry for an upcharge later in the turn. Only one reaction move may be made per enemy unit or stack that is moving. A unit cannot keep moving in response to a single unit's move. Disordered units, disordered units or units in an EZOC may not use reaction movement. And because reaction unit is being done by the non-active player, it doesn't trigger op fire or op charge. So anyway, that's the thing.
Okay. All right. Well,
And that would be another alternative is if you see me getting close, you could turn. On the other hand, I'm going to be farther away if I charge you. So then it would be
right.
the regular reaction that would happen where you'd choose to take you know, take your chances, right? I'll
Right.
turn with the chance I'll be disordered, but it's better than getting hit in the flank.
Okay. All right.
Obviously, if I'm really clever, I make it so that you're going to get hit in a flank either way.
Right.
But obviously, I don't always have the luxury of doing whatever I want.
Okay.
So
Well,
does that help?
that's yes, it does. It does.
All right,
That's
very good.
kind of what I was trying to figure out there. So,
Okay,
because
all right.
it, I know generally speaking, you know, with the kind of with how the hex sides and stuff are set, is it really a case where it's truly, it's not giving me the option to
Oh
kind of bend the line a little bit or
no, no,
whatever? I'm kind
absolutely.
of, I've always got a flank
Yeah,
hanging out.
you
And I
do.
know with the
Yes,
infantry, I can refuse the flank with the
right. With the
hook,
hook.
but I didn't know if that similar option was available for the
I
cavalry.
if it does exist, then it would be super weird because, of course, um, then what would you do? I mean, you can't countercharge because you're not in a line anymore. So what are you doing? You're just kind of giving up your your ability to react to problems. I don't know.
Right.
I don't think it would be. So no, but hook is for infantry only.
Okay. Hey, I've got a
Okay.
question for you. So
Wow, you
with
have lots of
this,
questions.
I got lots of questions. I figure I'd
Okay.
ask you
All
questions
right
while we're
then.
waiting
Oh, you
for
might as well.
David to show up, or maybe at least
All
delay
right.
things a little bit.
All
So
right.
I've got units here, right? These guys here, for
Yep. Yep.
example, this
Yep.
is their commander, but then this is their wing
Um,
commander. So if he's out of range, but they're within range of their wing commander, are they in command, or
um,
they have to be in
I,
command of their direct superior?
okay. Let's look for that because um, my gut says that they need to be in range of their own commander, but this is where the primer is helpful because sometimes it'll give an example of something that is useful. Um, and the reason I say, well, where's the other one? Um, it, no, that's not the one I want. There's a great diagram that I'm now struggling to find, but it's great that shows all the sorts of different combinations and permutation. There it is. You have it yet? Or did you buy a soft copy of it? Or
No, I have not gotten a copy of it yet. So I guess I'm not a true bar player until I have the bar primer.
oh, I mean, it is helpful.
There you go.
Um, all right, so here I am. Okay, W two. Okay, okay. Um, okay. Independent units can be in command because they can trace to the army leader
Okay.
or to a wing leader, as long as the wing leader himself is in command. Um, what are these S's? Special unit? What does that mean? Um, I'm not sure what a special unit is, but regular units, though, looking at this chart, only way I see them being able to be activated is by tracing a line of command to their own commander, not to any other
Okay.
commander, including their own wing leader. Um, I'm looking and I'm seeing no examples there. Now, the only counterexample is the idea of what's called attachment. So, if your wing leader was literally stacked with you, of course, your wing leader can activate anytime he wants, but with any other formation,
Right.
he could activate with your formation, and he's stacked with you. You're activated with him, and you're in command. Now, that wouldn't do any good, if he
That's
was
only
stacked with
going
this
to,
guy,
yeah, that's
it wouldn't
only
do
going
any
to
good for the guy
affect,
next to him.
right. It's only going to affect who he's physically stacked with at that moment.
Right,
Okay.
right. In fact, you may remember I used that at Prague because I had some units that were separated. They were coming on the board,
Right.
but they were separated from their wing.
Yeah, I think there were some of my guys were way back in the
Yeah,
backfield. Yeah.
yeah. And so I just put wing leaders on them and just used attachment and just brought them down that way. So that's a little confusing. Um, but yeah, that's interesting. So why is the commander so far north? Oh, I'm sorry, so far south. Excuse me.
Yeah, because
Because
those
the
other
their commander
heavies,
is this guy.
yeah, but these
Right.
guys are theirs too,
Okay.
right?
Right. So
And so I was moving them to like put them over here. Whoops.
yeah.
Um, And then I realized, oh, they can't attack if they're out of command. I'm used to La Bataille where I like, okay, I'm going to set my guys up so that
They
way if
could,
you do something, right, if I put them
right,
here, then they could
right,
charge, but if they're not in
right.
command, they can't charge, right?
Remember, they can op charge and reaction charge, but they
Okay.
can't charge,
Right.
right? So obviously, reaction charge means you're, I'm charging near enough to you that you can react,
Right.
whether I'm charging you or not. And opportunity charge means I'm moving near you. Obviously, if I stay far enough away from you, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
So yeah, that would be a problem. But I'm just sitting here looking. Uh, what have we got here? Are these are all independent? No, they're not independent units.
No, the only
Um,
independent ones I've got are, as far as cavalry goes, are over on the west side of the map.
right. I think what I was just trying to calculate here is, so that's one hex. That's two hexes. But because regimental integrity, that's also two hexes.
Right.
Then that's, oh, well, that's also two hexes there.
Right. So
So
then
then
that's
that's
3
three hexes.
and then
And
4,
then
and that's a regiment as well.
that's
So they're all, so technically they're
right.
all in command.
As far as I'm concerned, they are.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah,
I mean,
I was just counting hexes, and I'm like, oh,
right,
those guys are too far
right.
away.
Yeah,
So,
but I started realizing that these guys probably there was a little bit of regimental integrity you could use there to tie them all together. Um, so it looks like they're okay. Obviously, where things get dicey is the minute that line breaks for any reason.
right. Then
So
it
that would
becomes
not
problematic.
be right.
Hey, but
But
that's not going to happen.
oh, oh wow, that's awesome. Good for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the hope at
So
least.
yeah, it's a fine hope. So yeah, so let's see what else we got going on. These guys. Oh right, I forgot about these guys. Okay, all right.
Well, did you
Oh,
want to start throwing some dice and see
I
what
mean,
comes up?
we seems like we could. Um, refresh my memory. Is it +2 for
It's plus
Frederick?
2, yeah, because my guy is not nearly as brilliant as you.
Well, he's also doesn't have the burden of attack, so whatever. So, all right. Well, then I will chuck a die and see where we go from there. Chuck.
All right, that's one for
All
you.
right. That is one for me,
And it
and
could be a wing. I don't know what your wing value is for the
um
king.
really low. Um, so it could be because I think 5 is his wing number.
It says plus 5. No, that's his
Yeah.
army initiative.
Yeah. But Prussian. Where where's the king? Command rating of +5 and a wing activation number of 5. So both.
Okay.
And so that means this could be a wing. And so then I need to ponder. Can I'm just figure who I got here. All right. So if I start over on the right, I got Zeton here. And Zeton's got this guy here. And looks like everybody's in command 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1, 2, 3. And then oh yeah, that's right. Zeton also is these guys, which is wild.
Right.
This
He's
weird
got some infantry.
mixed group. And and he's in range. Yeah, so what the hell? Why not? Now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Zeton's actually in range of the king.
All right.
So I don't even have to roll.
Not that it would
I
harm
mean, he
you
can't move.
because Zeton is nearly brilliant anyway.
Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly. He would really have to screw up. But in this case, so yeah, go ahead and do it. What the heck, right? I mean, it's what I would ask David to do, so
There you go.
why not?
Well, you are the king.
All right. It's good to be the king.
Hmm. Well, you've got one guy
So,
that's disordered, I guess.
oh yes, quite so. Thank you. So I will go ahead and roll to recover his disorder, which does in fact happen. So we will delete there, and then we will start thinking about moving.
Hmm.
And the real trick is going to be these two fools over here. Why they're over here is not really clear to me. These guys. It's like on the wrong side of a creek.
I'm sure David
Uh,
was thinking the same thing I was thinking,
Which was
which was, oh, we've been playing La Bataille. It's, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not La Bataille
well,
after all.
might be the case. You're right.
I know.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Well, what I will do is I will bring these guys forward some. How much is some? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Not much. All right. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just move them all because they're all going to do the same thing. Well, are they? What the hell? All right. 1, 2, 3. And that's actually going to be. I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, because they're going up the slope.
Yeah, and I was just counting for the lead unit because that way I just didn't have to worry about counting it over and over again. And let's see, then I'm going to do this instead just to mix things up a little bit. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, I'll call it. 4, 5, 6. And then these guys will bring forward 1, 2. And we'll just leave them there for the moment. Now these guys are going to have a bit of a problem, so we're going to have to look and see if they wanted to do. They're in line, and if I wanted to column to the left, that's going to cost them 3. Their left, obviously. But if we're going to cross the creek, it seems like a whole lot better idea to be in column. So that's 3. And the question is, how bad is the marsh? It's pretty bad, I think.
It's for
4.
cavalry. It's 4, yeah, whether you're in line or
Really?
column.
Oh, is that right? I hadn't even
Yeah, it
noticed
looks like
that.
it's the
You're
same.
right. Oh, how weird. I thought I was going to get some kind of deal out of this.
No. It looks like
Um,
it's equally bad for infantry. It doesn't look like you have any benefit.
Interesting. Okay. Um, well, then mayhaps I'll reconsider. And it's probably also, yeah, you can't charge through it. It's just kind of a mess. Um, 1, 2, plus 4 is 6. So we'll just stop right there. Don't need to roll disorder recovery because we can go through any of that.
Right.
All right. And then these guys are all going to go on the road. And is it
The
it's a third?
Kaiserstrasse is one. It's 1 point
Yeah.
for 3 hexes.
All right. So that's 1. And that's 2. And that's 3. And then 4 would take everybody.
Oh, they all disappeared.
4 would take everybody out of road. Gadzooks. All right. So now they're just in column at 4. And then if I then look at
Forming line.
it's
It's
3
probably
to
going to
the
be
right. So I've
painful.
already
Yeah.
spent 4. So it's 3. So they're at 7 right there. So that's okay. I mean, I can live with that. It's not great, but I can live with it. And then the commander, I'll just move over here. And that's just brilliant. Okay. So that was that movement of that group over there. And then these guys over here. Guess we will just bring some folks up and cause some mayhem. And cavalry is going to come up like this. And the infantry is going to move up as well. Well, I'm trying to figure out what to do with that.
I'm curious to see how you do
Because
things.
it is going to be a little tricky to prize those guys out of that walled church there. That's the problem. And who else do I have? So I've got more guns here and there. Okay.
There you got some 6-pounders and some 12-pounders.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good time there, I would think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and do this. He will advance that 1 hex, and you haven't got 3 hex range.
Who doesn't?
So your Grenzers.
Right. They're 2
2
hexes.
hex range.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So, oh, and I've got to pay to go up that slope, do I?
I believe so.
Or do I?
Slope
It's a
is
half.
+1.
No, it's 1. 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was 1, and it would be 2, 3, 4 to end up there. So he can do that on his regular movement, and you get a shot at him with the Grenzers times 2.
Times 2.
So,
Okay, so it's going to be 6 to 10.
yep. Give me 1 to 2.
Yeah, let's just roll the dice and see what we get. 96.
Hey now.
That's a good
This
shot.
is this is going to be like, Frederick's nightmare scenario.
Is this opportunity
So that's
fire?
going
Is
to
that
be.
what it's called?
It is. Yep. So it is
Okay.
a 1D, and the M actually counts because it's a 96.
Oh, okay.
So first things first, we will lose that increment and we'll do a disorder check. And he is disordered. Well, this is exactly what old Fritz was worried about. And then we'll do morale check. The morale check will be at +5 because they're now disordered. And so we'll roll that. I don't think these guys are 18s. I think they're not
They're
bad, but they're not
29s,
that good.
yeah.
So they're now shaken and disordered. I mean, they folded like a house of cards.
Grenzers are earning their marksmanship medals, I
Seems like.
guess.
Seems like. Wow, that's just crazy. Okay, well, you know what? There's nothing for it but just to keep right on going. Okay, now this guy actually you could shoot at with op fire from that 3 pounder.
Oh, okay. And
Because I
that's
moved from a
times
hex that was
two.
three
So that's going to
times
be
two, and there's
4 to 10.
so
So it's
it's
1 to
yeah, so
3,
it's
I
going to be
guess.
1 to 3. So really, you'd need a special result to get anything because you don't have any
Oh,
size
yeah, I
benefit.
can't get. Yeah, I can't. Well, I could disorder you, right? There's a D
Oh,
option.
sure, of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
there is. Yes, because it's op fire. Yep,
Yeah, 50,
absolutely.
that's nothing.
No. And with that morale or with that optional rule, that would actually be a return fire. But of course, I can't return fire from 3 hexes away, so it's meaningless. All right. So then again, that was 1. So this is 2, 3, 4. And now both of them get to take a shot, but they have to fire separately.
Oh, okay.
Um, so at 2 hex range, is it still times
So it's
2 for the.
times 3 for the 3 pounders.
Okay, so it's 1 to 2 for the 3 pounders then.
Right. Um, okay, let's roll and see what we get. A 51 is nothing.
Okay.
All right, and
Now,
then,
this guy
right,
firing there.
can only fire half, right?
Now, this is what's interesting, though,
Okay.
because I don't think I'd ever noticed this, but recently I stumbled across something about. Um, oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. Um, I was thinking of disorder. Um, I always thought that what disorder did was just cut your fire in half,
Mm-hmm.
but disorder doesn't do that. Disorder reduces the number of strength points that can fire out of the hex. Now you might think, well, so what? That's the same thing, isn't it? Except it isn't, because you round it for one thing,
Right.
meaning you'd have 2 strength points firing, not
Oh, okay.
1.5. So that's a difference. The other thing is, um, what happens if there are infantry and 2 artillery stacked together and they're disordered? Well, I can only fire with 2 strength points. Well, then I'll fire with the artillery.
Right.
The infantry just doesn't get to fire at all. I mean, it's just kind of funny because it kind of feels more intuitive to just say half strength,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and kind of the same problem here because you're blocked, right?
Right. But it would be,
So
so
the,
is
the
it,
question is is it um, that that
is it 3
your
halved
number
rounded
of
up
strength, right?
times whatever, or is it 3 times the factor divided by 2?
Exactly, and that's actually something I'm looking. Um, a partial line of sight halves rounded the number of strength points that can fire per hex. So in your case, it's 2
Right.
because half
Okay.
rounded. It's
So then
2.
times 2, it's going to be 4. So I have a 4 to 10. So that's going to be
Right.
a
So it's 1 to
1 to 3
3.
shot.
So, right.
We got a
So
0.7.
special result. We got to look up
Infantry
a fire
fire high crops.
0,
If target or
7.
fire's hex is clear, re-roll and subtract 20 from the roll.
Oh, is this one of those cases where I shouldn't trust the vassal module?
Well, I'm looking at the one that we printed out that I downloaded from the website.
You good man. That's what you should be doing. I didn't. And so Austrian 7 is high crops.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
So,
I could roll it again, but I'd have to get another
oh,
special
yes, so
result because with a
nope,
minus.
but you can't get a
Oh,
special
okay.
result on a
Yeah. So
special
with a minus
result.
20, there's no way I can hit
Mm-hmm.
with at
Okay.
1 to 3. So that's done.
All right. Brilliant.
Who's next?
Okay.
Or what's next?
1.
Uh-huh.
Now this guy actually has a clear line of sight
Yeah.
to that hex, which is the one he should be shooting at. So it's 1 to 3, but it looks to me like 1 to 3 plus 10 because it's an 8
Bigger
increment
unit.
unit.
Okay. Let's roll and see what we get. So that's going to be a 99. So
That's enough for a disorder check.
It's a disorder check. Yep.
All right. We'll see what happens here. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. Now, because he was disordered while marching, he now stops moving.
Okay.
So that's, pretty awesome. All right. So, wow, starting to regret this whole turn of events, but whatever.
David's going to be mad at you.
Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yes, he
All
is.
right. So it's the
All
same
right.
thing, I guess, right?
That was one exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's roll and see what we get. That's a miss.
Well, the smoke probably obscured your vision.
Yeah.
All right. And then I'm going to do that. Now, both of these get a shot,
But separately, correct?
but separately, yes. And we're going to have to deal with the fact that this guy's in general order, which is going to affect his ability to fire.
Well, he can only fire 3 in general order, and he's only got 3.
Well, but that's not the problem.
What is the problem?
Well, the problem is, and this is not something you see very often, but under fire multiple modifiers, just kind of just down from where you just were, seeing that the maximum SP's firing is 3.
Right.
If you go down to general order, your fire multiple is modified by 1.
Oh, so it's 1 less. Okay.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
if his multiple
anyway,
are, well, we'll figure it out.
yeah,
All right. So
exactly.
let's do the artillery first. So they're going to be.
And it's going to be 1 to 2 again, but plus 10 this time.
Yeah. So it's 6 to. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, no. What is that? 02. This is accurate fire. And there's a leader thing. Is that what the asterisk means? Okay. Shift the odds column 1 to the right and re-roll. So now is it a 1 to 1.5? If it was a 1 to 2?
Yes, it would be 1 to 1.5. Now, the other thing we probably need to look at is we need to make a single 10-digit die roll for that leader loss thing.
Okay. Should we have done that for the high crops one as well? Because that was also a 0.6. No, it was a 0.7.
No, it was a 7.
Yeah.
It was a 7. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who rolls it, but I mean, why don't you go ahead and roll it since you're the one doing the shooting?
It's 1 die.
One
0.
die.
Pick any enemy leader.
Enemy leader.
Oh, okay. And then what do we roll? Oh, then we roll on that and see what happens. Well, let's see if we can equalize things. We'll see if Frederick stumbles off his horse. So we're going to pick the king.
Okay.
A
Okay.
3.
Whew.
Ooh,
Boy,
just
that was
barely missed
close.
him.
The thought of a 20% chance of losing the king on the second turn of the game. Mm. Okay. All right. Good times. So now you shift over to 1 to 1.5 and plus 10.
Okay. 97 plus 10
Damn.
becomes 107. That's going to be 2 hits, a D, and an M. No, no M because it was
Yeah.
odd.
Right. So 2 hits. That's the important part. We'll do that. And then a disorder check. They're all right. And there is no morale check. Now, the Grenzers can fire 3, but their fire multiplier is only times 1. So
So
really,
there's
you've only
nothing they
got,
can do unless we get a special roll, right?
yeah, especially because there is no plus 10
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. So let's roll that. And that's nothing.
Right. Okay. Um, good times.
If
So,
you say so.
yeah, buddy. All right. So that's 1, and that's 2, 3, 4.
Right. So I guess I would get a 1 to 3 shot on them.
1 to 3 shot on them.
And that's a nothing.
And nothing. All right. And then this guy is going to turn 1, 2, 3. He'd have to rapid march to get any farther. I'll just leave him where he is. All right. And then this guy's going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to move the artillery up. 1, 2. Oh, these guys are speedy. They can move 4. 2, 3, 4. What a deal. Okay, so I think that is all the units that need to move. So I need to just kind of figure out what I want to do with the leaders. Take a look at this guy, 6. And this guy, 7. Okay, well, that.
Well, can you put yourself between the two? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, I don't think
2,
so.
3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4. No, because I'm going to put him there. And yeah, I can't get to reach both of them.
Right.
That's okay. I will just move over here with my first true love, the
The
cavalry.
cavalry. Of course, it's Scythen. He's got to be there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's that. And wow, what a fiasco. Um. Okay. So if we look at the combat potential here, it's not great because I don't have that many units available. I could do that, and I could do that, and then that guy's left alone to attack, which is not sane. All right. Well, I tell you what I will do.
Okay.
Um, these two guys are going to try to close assault.
All right. So I guess you make your morale check.
Uh,
Do you have? Is it modified by the terrain?
um, actually, I'm pondering this.
Is it just a -5 morale check modifier? Am I looking at that correctly?
For the terrain, what about the terrain?
Well, are you're attacking across the field works, right?
Yeah, I'm about to bail out on the whole idea though. Um, I'm trying to figure out what to do. The fact that this guy um, screwed up, screwed everything up.
Machinations of fate, baby.
Oh, yeah, big time, big time. Um, yeah, David's really not gonna like me. Where you going here?
Well, I'm sure he's has worse things considering he's got to
Uh,
drive
yeah,
ungodly number of
big
hours.
time.
He could very well be watching this,
Because
on
traffic is so
yeah,
slow, he's just sitting there
he's
watching.
got
Yeah.
YouTube on and he's watching you destroy his stuff. And he's not screaming at traffic. People are watching him wave his fist in
No,
the air and everything else. And
they're thinking, dude, calm yourself
that's
down.
right.
He's like,
He's
no, that's
not.
not the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. That is funny. All right, we're going to give this a whirl anyway, just because why the hell not? All three of them are going to go in,
Okay.
and I have every expectation of total debacle. So we'll start here on the west end.
Okay. So I guess they're
Okay.
not going anywhere.
No, seems not. So next.
They're going
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah, and then these poor bastards, they may hope they go shaken.
Oh, 5.
Oh,
What's that?
that's even weirder. Um,
This is
so
a
this is
disorder or morale
pre-melee
check?
No, this is a pre-melee morale check, so pre-close combat, and it's a 5 Prussian. If stacked with a leader, a -15. Otherwise, reroll with a +10. So we'll reroll with a +10.
Oh,
Okay.
they're happy.
Yeah, and honestly, shaken would have been a better choice for him, but oh well, that's life. Because basically each one of these has to attack one
Right.
unit. It's just how it is.
Okay. So now I have to
So
make
this,
my morale check thing or something?
no, no. Now I designate the individual combats, and
Oh,
then we
okay.
resolve them one at a time. So I will go ahead and do this one first. So now you do your defender morale check. Your effectiveness rating is a 23. That's that number in the upper right.
Okay. And then now is my morale check modified with a -5 because I'm behind the field work?
Where do you see the -5?
So I'm looking at the terrain effects chart and it says Swedish Fieldworks and it's
Okay.
got a -5 in under morale check modifiers.
Interesting. So that looks like if what you're saying is true, and I'm paging my way through looking for it, then that's been modified since the vassal module. Um, but you're right. Yes, it would be -5.
Okay. All right.
So
So let me go ahead and roll and see what I get. 27. Well, I would have passed anyway. So
mhm, close. All right. So you're sticking around, and so now you go ahead and fire at.
they are 3-pounders. So they are times 4. So they're going to be 12 to 12
No,
to
8.
what is it? Oh, you're right.
Well,
I'm
no, 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 no.
multiplying them
There's
by their
two. There's
yeah.
two
There's
in
only 2 increments. Yeah. So
two
it's 8
increments
to
there.
10.
Yep.
Okay.
8 to 10. However, it's +20 because
Okay.
it's defensive fire against infantry.
Okay, so it's 1 to 1.5 with a plus 20.
Right.
Here we go.
Plus 20.
So that's going to be an 89. And this is
89.
defensive fire. So that is
So
1D.
it's going to be a 1D. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like a 1D. All right, so
Okay.
we're going to do 1 and a D check, and we'll check there.
Oh, no.
Special result
Special
on my
result.
D check. God, it never. All right, and that is from a defensive fire result. You'll notice, by the way, that there's a
There's
separate
opportunity fire.
table.
There's a different one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different, right? So, and that's a 0.7 for the Prussians. So if the
Right.
unit's printed effectiveness rating is 36 or higher, which is shite, that would be +5. Otherwise, it's -5. So, I, it's given that they're grenadiers.
Nope, they're
Oh God,
Fusiliers.
they're Fusiliers, and they're a lot worse than I thought.
But
Okay, well,
you
regardless,
still re-roll with a -5, right?
it is still a -5.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
So they
So
pass.
they're okay. They pass the disorder check. All right. So you've done your defensive fire, and now we go ahead and go to the close combat. Now, the close combat here is a little bit different, and I don't recall that we had this happen in any of our previous games, so I'm glad we're having the chance to do it.
Okay.
The artillery ordinarily doesn't contribute anything to close combat.
Oh, I
If they're
thought it was
stacked,
worth 1, you said.
no. If they're stacked with somebody else,
Oh,
they
okay.
have no value at all.
Right.
If they're stacked by themselves and they get attacked, then their defense is 1. Their combat value is 0.
Okay.
So when we're, doing die roll modifiers, that's what that is.
Ah, okay.
So let's take a look. I should now be a little bit more
So
careful.
you've got
So, all
5
right.
to 1.
So 5 to 1 are the raw odds.
Okay.
And if we look at the close combat table, well, first thing we need to remember is that attacking across the Swedish field works is
-3.
-3. And then I need to look and see what is that unit. It's a +3.
Right.
All right, so that makes it 0. I don't think there's going to be any other modifiers beyond that. I think that's going to be it. So it's just going to be 5 to 1 even odds.
Okay. So just, I guess, see what you roll.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's going to be a net -3. Am I reading that right?
-3. I think that is how I
Yeah.
would read that. But at 5 to 1, a
It's
-3, probably not
1D,
that bad.
1R.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? At 5 to 1, still take another hit. All right. Of course, artillery can't rout.
Right.
So
So they're just gone.
destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to
Yeah.
go to the, where is the, do we have a graveyard? Yes, we do have a graveyard. Okay.
Do we?
Yep.
Okay.
It's way over on the left-hand side.
Oh, yes, it is. You're quite right. Okay.
Well,
all
hell,
right.
those guys dished out a crap ton of damage for
Oh, they
what
did.
it's worth.
I mean, you were doing some pretty obnoxious rolling there, to be completely honest. So yeah. So then, boom, I move in, and good times. Now this next one's going to be pretty ugly
Let's
because
see. This is the walled farm.
yeah. So
Church.
first things first, you got to do your morale check. Now your morale check is minus
-10, it looks like. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Now I actually am kind of intrigued though, because you do have an enemy unit in your flank.
And that's on a different chart.
It's part of any time you do type B morale check. Here I am scrolling back. Where are the special result? Yeah, so if you look at the morale check summary chart,
Is this the outflanked? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yep, it absolutely
Okay.
is.
So that's
And
a plus
and
10
it's
minus 10.
right. So it just basically evens that out, and so you are left to just roll away.
Now, my question is these guys can retreat before combat or can they not?
Yes, yes, I believe they would be able to, even though they are. Well, I mean, they're not in skirmish order at the moment. They're in general order. That complicates things a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know. You're the expert at the game.
When yeah. I know, it's just interesting. So, all right. So, parent units are considered to be the breakdown units are skirmish only units. When in skirmish mode, must be in command. They can move adjacent. In command. Yeah. Okay. I'm not really convinced that that really deals with it very well. So let's find the walled church. Churches with walled cemeteries. There's even a farm dwelling. +8.
Well, it
Jeez, it's
says
only
that they
plus
have to
4.
be in general order based on what it's got on the terrain chart.
Yes, but I was just reading here, and this is actually important because that's not how we were discussing it before. But if you look under 5.2G in the special rules, page 8.
Which I don't have handy, so go ahead and read them.
Oh, okay. Uh, Infantry that enters a walled church or farm hex must go to general order unless using road movement. Skirmish units in walled church or farm remain in skirmish formation,
Ah,
and
okay.
they are non-clear terrain and they block line of sight. So that's not what I had said before, but that
Right.
is apparently the thing. So
The thing.
that means he's actually facing that way.
Right.
And no, I'm not in your flank because that's a front-facing hex for
Right.
you.
Right.
So, given that, then you're rolling
Whatever.
with the -10, or since you're in skirmish, yep, you can absolutely just bolt.
And where can I go to? Either of these two hexes?
I
Or
don't think you can retreat through an empty enemy zone of control. I think you'd have to retreat
this way?
southeast.
Okay, that's what I was curious
Yeah,
about.
and yeah, no, it's a good point. I definitely think you'd need to do that given the circumstances. On the other hand, honestly, I mean,
I'm
given
going to
the
go for it. I'm going to see
I I
if I
I
can
think
do
you
it because
should.
you don't have a lot hitting me since
No,
everybody
I've got
kind of fell apart. So let's see if we
ex-
get lucky.
exactly. No, I think you're right.
56. Yep, so we passed.
Yeah, they're not they're not setting the world on fire, but good enough. Okay, so now they're in skirmish formation, and what do they get? Times 3 as
No, they're
their.
times
Uh,
5.
are they really?
Yeah.
Holy moly,
Yeah.
times 5. So that's 15. So it's 1.5 to 1 +20.
Okay, let's see what we get. So that's going to be 68 at 1.5 to 1. That's going to be a 1 DM.
D and the M. All right, so there's 1, and we'll do a disorder check, which he fails.
They just fail.
Wow. And I have to do a morale check, which is now at +5.
Oh, they
Okay.
pass the morale check, but disordered.
Yeah,
So
okay.
disordered makes them what, half the number of increments?
Yes,
So that would
so
be 3 rounded to
effectively,
2.
yeah, or 3
Okay.
rounded to 2. So it's now, the raw odds are 2 to 3, so it's 1 to 1.5.
Right.
And now these guys are serious, though. They are grenadiers.
Well,
They're
that's good.
+7s.
Plus 7s. And in the
Holy
walled
moly.
church, I have a plus 8.
8.
Yep.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
it's going to be 1 to 1.5
that
minus
is a
one.
-1. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good times.
So that's going
A
to be a
special result.
-4. Oh no, you're right. It's a
No,
special
it's a
result.
special result, which means that we almost all nearly die.
Yeah. So a
Each of
zero
us loses
three.
2 increments.
Yep. And then it looks like I've got a. Is that a leader casualty thing? A little star
It
there.
is, but you don't have, yeah,
Okay.
but you don't have anybody nearby, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I'm nearly vaporized. You're largely vaporized.
Whoops.
Ooh, easy there, big fella.
I hit the wrong thing.
Okay.
All right. And then I have. Do we both make morale checks at the same time, or how does that go? Because there's an
Oh,
M.
it's the one. You remember this whole process here is you find out who has the worst
Oh, I have the worst.
effectiveness
I
rating.
have the worst effectiveness rating because.
Well, but it has to be considering everything,
Oh, okay.
because remember you are benefiting by 10 by being where you are,
Right. But I'm half
right?
dead.
But you're half dead, which takes away 10, so
Right.
you're back to 40.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm disordered and half dead.
Right.
So that's plus 15 and
What's your morale? 24. So you're going to be at
39.
39
So you're worse by 1. So
by
you
1.
roll
Okay.
morale check first.
So I'm at just a straight up 40. Here we go. A 05. Wouldn't you know? Another special
That's
result.
Well, it's not a special
Oh, it's
result
not.
though,
Oh,
because
okay.
there are no special results for
Morale
M
checks. Okay.
results, right? So
A
that is
route.
just, well, and it's worse than that because it's you lose a strength point in
Oh,
route.
so
So
he's just
that's
gone.
that's the that's the end of the unit.
Well, that's not so bad. He dished out a whole
Oh,
bunch of stuff,
oh
practically
no.
wiped out.
Absolutely, of units way better than he.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take that
Wow.
trade.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty grim. Okay. I have
Hey,
to
but you
advance
captured
into
the
the
little church thing. Don't you feel
Yeah.
better now?
Ooh. Oh, much, much better. So I have to adopt general order
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I enter there. I don't think that there is a marker for general order
No,
because I think
so
it's one of
just you
those
just
things
face
that
a
the
hex side and
exactly
yeah.
right. And so I will just face that hex side. Now, the other thing is I don't know that disorder does disorder even apply to general order? I don't know if it does or not. Um, uh, general order. It's so rare for me to be in general order. Requires good order. Yeah, 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 yeah. General order, general order. Um, I know skirmishers. There is no concept of disordered.
Right. They're
Um,
either in skirmish or they're routed.
right. Uh, I don't see anywhere that says otherwise, so I'm just going to assume that they are disordered, but in general order, all 100 of them are still standing around. It's
Well,
pretty
it's a good
pretty
thing they're
dire.
they're all there in the church cemetery. That's where they're burying.
A
They're
lot of them will
burying
never move from
600
there.
people, 300
Um,
Grenzers and
oh boy.
300 Grenadiers.
Oh, okay. All right. Stand by. Stand by 1 moment, please. Um, uh, uh, I'm going to come up with an answer here in just a minute. As soon as I figure out. Um, okay. I don't know that this is. I'll be with you in just a moment. Sorry
Sure.
for that. Okay. That is the number right there, those 9 digits. No, not enough digits. 4768. Okay. Um, where was I? Right. Yeah, I was just looking at the disaster that was. I guess that's it for the close combat. So I think we're done, and I will flip leaders, and I will prepare a witty comeback for when David arrives, cursing and spitting from all of his time out on the highway, and finds that it's actually worse.
Yeah. Well, you could tell him you took out the battery and you captured the church,
I
and
did. I
you know
did. I
that's
did.
that's what we
Yeah,
call progress.
clearing the way.
Yeah.
Clearing
Yeah.
the way. And the rest of those Grenzers are on notice now.
Yep. You're on your way to Vienna at this point.
Yeah, practically.
All
Yeah.
right. Let me go ahead and chuck some dice. See what
All
we come
right.
up with. That's
Mm-hmm.
another one for you. And it's another
Another wing
wing.
if I want it.
Yeah. Well, that last wing went so well for you.
Well, there will be a lot less combat with the next wing activation.
Yeah, because you've got wing wise. Yeah, because you've just got what,
just
four
four
wings?
wings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to activate the cavalry since the infantry are in the way.
No, yeah, I was thinking I'd probably do
So it's either Bevern or Treshkow.
Bevern and that's Triscow right there, isn't it? But wait a
Treshkow's in the
minute.
middle, it looks like, right? He doesn't
No,
have
well,
much.
I mean, he's right here,
Yeah. And he's just got the
and
two little brigades.
confusingly, he's that guy there belongs to him, and that guy there belongs to him.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one to do next. So I will, and yeah, we'll do that. All right, so let's see. Of course, they're right near the king, so it's not really any difficulty getting in order or getting those guys ready to go. There are these independent units over here
Right. The grenadiers.
that will go ahead and activate with them. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infantry units. And then we'll go ahead and activate the artillery that's in the area too.
Mm-hmm.
So we can all march along gaily together. And so we'll do that now. 1, 2, 3, where we have a vortex in space-time, as you can see.
Well, remember, you've got to do the little zigzag thing, or you pay extra, right? You can't go diagonally, except for your grenadiers.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't remember that.
Even though just a few days earlier or a month earlier at Prague, they could do it. But
Is that right?
yeah, the rules for this one.
That's interesting. That's curious.
It is curious. And I think it's probably because whoever wrote the updated stuff for this, Prague hadn't come out necessarily.
possible. It's not really clear when, and Matthew was the one who did this, I'm sure. Um, it's possible that maybe it hasn't been updated since then. Um, uh, and you're saying that just because you don't see any mention of oblique marching being allowed
No, it
in the
said
special
that. It
rules.
said that just the just the
Yep, I see it. The Liebgard Infantry Battalion and Prussian Grenadiers have a special marching ability. Well, truth is I, I believe that I took advantage of it in that last activation, even for units that weren't Grenadiers,
no, you did.
for what it's
You
worth.
zigzagged.
Mm,
Yeah, because they were like this guy here
oh no,
went.
you're right.
He
There were
was
only two
here,
hexes
here,
away,
here.
weren't
Yeah,
they? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay, you're right.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, good, good. Yeah, that is really interesting. I guess that's a question we'll have to um, ask Matthew. Like, why is that? Presumably, you have a good reason. So tell us what it is. All right. So that's one, two, three, and that's fine. So one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three, four, and that one needs to do a disorder check, I guess. Is that right? Here I
Which
am
one?
looking. Oh no, the regular slopes don't actually require a
Yeah,
disorder
it's
check.
only
They just
the
require the extra cost.
yeah
It's
the
the
steep
steep
slope.
slopes that require it.
Yeah,
All right. All right. One, two,
3.
three, and one, two, three, and then one, two, three. Uh,
Those just look like normal ones too. I don't think they're severe.
four.
Oh, well, no, going up the slope. Oh yeah, you're right. So he can expand
One,
without a cost,
two, three, four. Oh no, one, two,
and
three,
then
four. Yeah,
5. Okay.
just moving there is one, two, three,
Yeah.
four. Yeah. Okay. One, two, and I guess I can extend him three, four.
Yeah.
All right. And then now these are all grenadiers back here.
Right.
One, two, three, four. Yeah. All right. And then the guns. One, two. What's the cost for the guns to go up this slope?
It's probably the same. I think a +1 maybe.
Just one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that'd be four to get there. So that's yeah. That's the amusing part because they are encumbered in some ways, but they're not encumbered by the whole business about oblique marching.
Mm-hmm.
So so they have some advantages and some disadvantages. All right. One, two, one, two. And then we'll go ahead and bring the leaders up. And we'll just do that. So there we go.
All
And
right. It's time for
then
you to
I'm
throw
going
some
to
dice.
mark lots of units as finished. Boy, those units were ghastly in those days. Those markers are horrifying. And so I will
It looks like
roll the
something from a
dice.
Rorschach test there.
It does. Another wing activation
Another
for
wing
me.
activation,
This
yeah.
is
At this point,
absolutely ridiculous. Um,
3
yeah.
rolls, 3 wing
So,
activations.
so next
Uh,
week we
uh,
just won't. I won't bother to show up,
yeah,
and
pretty much.
you can just show up and move your units. I think that's how this should work.
Well, but you could get a roll where you get a special thing, right? Where you get to do another second move or something
Oh,
like
you're
that.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? The other thing is, to be honest with you, there's an excellent chance I won't be available next week
Well, I
because
won't
of.
be available next week because I've got a holiday party. So,
Okay, well, I was going to say Dad's 100th birthday shenanigans are be going on all weekend and up till Tuesday, so it's entirely possible that we'll be otherwise
yeah.
engaged anyway.
Yeah.
So, just as well.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
2
very
weeks
good.
off.
All right, well then, I guess it's Bever next. I mean, what the hell? And Bevern is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly 10 away from the king. It's almost like I did that on purpose, so I don't need to roll. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leader's in command. That leader's in command. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leader's not in command. How's that possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not in command.
Oh, the one that's way
That
out there,
that
Panwitz?
that guy, that guy there, is one hex too far away.
Hmm.
I wonder how he did that. Oh well.
So does he have to roll for initiative
Uh,
or
I,
or he
I
just can't
just
activate with the wing?
I don't think he can activate with the wing,
Okay.
and I'm just going to double check that because the funny thing is I just saw that on this chart in the primer. Um, C4 and C5 are within their wing leader's command range. They're in command because W2's successful initiative roll and can both be part of a wing activation. C6 is outside the wing leader's command range and so cannot be part of the wing activation. He must roll for initiative to be in command, but it's a little misleading how it says that. He can't be part of the wing activation.
Right.
He can activate, but he would just have to roll to put himself in command. So, all right, well, then I guess I'll just do these other two. Which is kind of weird, but okay. And I guess I will do these two artillery, the two 12-pounders,
Sure.
along with that. Um, okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, yeah, boy, I'm telling you. One, two, three, 4. No, it costs 1 plus the
The terrain, yeah.
the terrain cost, so it would be 5 to go that far. Um, so I'll go ahead and do it, whatever. So disorder check for him. He's fine.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Disorder check for him. Okay. And then, oh, this goes farther over than I thought. Oh, right. Okay. All right. Um, so he's going to go 1, 2. 3, 4. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And is he going to be able to make this work? Yes, he will. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, screw it. I'll just do 4. That'll work. And so that is that for those guys. And I've already moved the guns. And so then I'll move this other. Oh, that's the leap guard. That's right. All right. So he will move up 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he'll move here and flip over. And move there and flip over. And Beverin's going to be on his own because he's going to move away from the road, so he won't be able to stay in touch with the king, but that's just how life goes. And he'll move here and flip over. So I think that is it. So is it your
All
turn
right.
to check
Yep.
dice?
Let me roll the dice and see what we get.
Okay.
03.
Uh-oh.
Special something. And it's a Prussian
And that's a
special
3
something.
for the Prussians. Free combat, fire combat, or close combat segment. I'm not really sure what I would do with that.
Well, let's see. You only got one person that can fire, right? Well, actually, you got people that are shaken and disordered. That you could fire at my Grenzer, right?
Oh yeah. In fact, it's kind of hard to imagine anything else to do.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I'll do it for that later. And so that means I'm gonna have 6 total strength points firing, 4 from the 1 hex and 2 from the disordered hex. Right, so it's 6.
Right. And
times, and these are
they're halved across the Swedish field thing, right?
musketeers, and they are halved, right? Okay, so they're musketeers, so it's times 4. So it's 6 times 4 is 24. Halved is 12. So it's 1 to 1. And it's 1 to 1 minus 10 because their skirmishers are the target. So it's not very good odds.
Well,
but that's how baseball goes. So
exactly.
1 to 1 minus 10, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. Oh, that's close, 69. But not close enough. That is not close enough. A miss.
A miss indeed.
Yeah, 70 is what you need at 1 to 1. It's kind of like you probably have a lot of the Lobatai charts. Kind of, you just have certain numbers that you just know you don't need to look up anymore. That's one for me because obviously 1 to 1 happens all the time.
All right, let me roll again. See what I come up with. A 71.
What?
What?
You know, we haven't moved the end turn marker yet either. So you probably will get to move your whole stinking army.
Well, we'll see. Okay, so that is a wing for me.
Is it?
It is.
7 is your wing number?
My wing ding number for Dawn is 7.
Okay, then and there you go.
Yeah.
Wing to you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get Nadajdi over here to do something wing-like. Well, should I do that? Or
Can't tell
should
you.
I do it with somebody else? I've got. Where's the leader? Where's Dawn? Down. All right, down is
Down
here.
doobie doo, down, down.
And
Doobie
Colorado.
doobie, down, doobie doo, down, down.
6. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I'll activate Colorado instead. He's within range of down. So I'm over here on the west.
Yeah, you must be,
Yeah.
because wherever the hell he is.
So down is here. Colorado is over here.
Apparently, I'm going to have to zoom out so I can
Yeah.
find people.
So here's down. There's Colorado. And he's
Okay,
got
thank you
people
very much.
here, here,
Appreciate that.
here. He's got, I think, 2 brigades. Let me look it up here real quick. Yeah, he's got Puebla and Sincere.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then so these guys of Pueblas are all woefully out of touch
Oh, yeah.
with the universe.
Okay. All right. They are nevertheless part of this wing activation because
Yep. Yep.
their formation is activating, so they
Yep.
have to, but they're out of command, so
Yeah.
clearly aren't going to move very
Yep.
fast.
So
So, okay.
and I'll activate these guns while I'm at it.
All right.
So let's go ahead and move some people, shall we?
Sure.
So let's move the people that are in the back. That's going to be the easiest.
Okay.
All right. So this is going to be 1.5. Or is it just no? Going down the slope is just half. So that's
Yeah, so
1
that's just 1,
and 2.
then 2.
Yep.
Yep.
And so
Right.
then there's 1 and 2. And there's 1 and 2. And this
Right.
guy is a half, 1.5, 2. Good. All right. So those are the guys that were out of command. They're all done with their excitement for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Who else should we move then? So let's go ahead and move these guys that are part of Sincere's group. So Sincere is going to, these guys are, and these are Grenadiers. I guess they can move at the same time. So these
Okay.
guys are going to go 1, 2, oh no. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And these guys here are going to go 1, 2, and going across the stream is a half.
So
that's going to be
so
3.
it's 3. Yeah.
And then this would be 4. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And they've
Now
got to
they
make
need
a
to
check
roll.
for the going across the creek. So
Yeah.
87. So they're happy.
Okay. Great.
Yep.
Great.
All
Okay.
right.
And then the Grenadiers.
The Grenadiers. So that's half. That's 1.5, 2, 3, and 4 gets them there. Let's roll for them. And they're happy.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're happy.
Oh, I would expect so. Yeah, that'd be pretty embarrassing if they weren't. Okay.
Okay. All right. So then these next guys. So this is going to be. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 gets them there.
All right.
And this is going to be. Oh, did they go
Disorder
across the
check.
thing? Okay, let's roll for
Yeah,
them.
they started. Yeah.
Oh, they're disordered.
Okay.
So that's easy to deal with. Okay. All right. And then these guys. So it's going to be. So there's 1, 2.
Might as well leave Puebla back because you
3.
don't know
Yeah.
everyone's going to have to roll.
3,
Yep.
4.
3, 4. All right.
All right, everybody's doing the same thing, so let's just go
All
ahead and
right.
roll for the first
Uh-huh.
chap.
Yep.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Another one of those bloody things.
Okay. All right.
Disorder
Let's
check.
see. Disorder check for movement. And it's
Austrian 7. So let's see what his morale is first. And he is a 34. So he's rolls again with a -5. So he's happy.
What?
So an Oh, I'm
You
sorry. I'm looking at the Prussian one by mistake. All right.
right. Okay. So you'd
Yeah.
re-roll with a +10, you're fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
All right,
looking at
very
the
good.
wrong
All
one.
right.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
Next
it's
chap.
easy to do. Yep.
Next chap. A 10. That's going to be a
Oh, now
failure.
that's a hard fail. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. I
That's
saw
like the
that. I saw
11
another
of
0
La
on my.
Bataille.
Yeah. All right. And
Yeah.
here's the other one. 37. He should pass. Right. Because
Well, he's got a +5 though, so actually he needs to be a 32 or better.
Oh no. Yeah, he's going to disorder because he's a 36.
Yeah. Right.
Because he sucks.
Because he sucks.
All right.
Okay.
So that's that guy, and then we've got these chaps over here.
That was supposed to make it easier for Puebla to know where to go.
Yep. Well, now he's just got to go
It's
3
okay.
different places. So.
Colorado. Oh, you're right. Oh God, even Colorado can't fix it then.
We'll see. Maybe he can.
It's funny.
He's magical.
All
All right. So then these guys, see, they could turn. That's 1, 2.
Oh yeah, they could end up right behind the rest of them.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, they're just gonna all kind of just go right along in a line like that.
Yeah, and no disorder checks required there, so that's that. And
these guns are going to turn, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get some there.
Okay.
All right.
Commanders.
Yeah. So now let's see. Colorado can move up here and have those guys in, and then this guy can go here. Puebla can go there, I guess.
Yeah, just hope for the best. What else can you do?
Well, let's see. So by virtue of stretchy things.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, he couldn't do it. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if there's a way I could get the guys that are back here in command because all these guys are connected, but even then, they wouldn't be. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. They'll show up at the battle
those guys from
eventually.
LDA are just they're gonna show up whenever they show up.
Yeah.
They may be the cavalry that saved the day.
Historically, some of them did. I don't know if it was those
go.
guys or some other chaps, but yeah, there was a group that showed up and just kind of just in the nick of time bailed everybody out. So
you got to be counting on it then.
All right. Well, that was my exciting wing activation.
That was a world-class wing activation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's your turn to roll.
All right. Then we'll roll. And we finally move the end turn marker.
Right. And this is 1 for the Prussians.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll move Bevern's lost and lonely guy.
Yep.
Amusingly, he actually doesn't need to roll to put himself in command because he's so close to the king. He can trace command without needing the wing leader. He just couldn't participate in the wing.
In the wing activation.
Yeah, kind of amusing. I'll bring the guns up along with.
Sure.
And okay. see if I can figure out how to do this. 1, 2.
3.
No, he didn't do anything.
Where did he start?
He just 1, 2.
Oh,
That's all he's
okay.
done. Now, I was then going to do this.
So that's 3, 4.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Do these things not rotate?
They rotate, but the
Well, why is it not rotating? There. I don't know. I
you've
must not have had it
selected the wrong
selected.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. So that's that. So that's 1, 2, 3. And oh, screw it. Why not? Let's just go ahead and make it 4, 5 and roll for a disorder check. I'd be real surprised if that's a problem for him. All right.
You,
Sorry.
yep.
Yeah. All right. And then 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we'll just move him on up here. And is he going to be close enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not even close to close enough now. So actually, he probably wants to be somewhere else. Pardon me.
Gesundheit.
1, 2, 3, 4. I guess he could be as far away as that and still have everybody in reach.
Yep. Yep. And now
And
he's
he's in
back
reach
in
of
Beverly.
he's in reach of Beverton now. So all good. Everybody's in command, and so that's that.
All right. Let me roll. Oh, that's another big one for you. You run out of wings.
Well, I have 1 left, but it's so spread out I can't actually activate the whole thing at once. So that's just too effing bad. Okay. Let's see where folks are. So there's flipping this over. Penavere. And he's got 5 commands.
Yep. He's got all that cavalry.
Only 2 of them are close enough to put in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, only 2 of them are close enough to make the wing activation. So there's really not a whole lot of point to it. I think maybe instead I will just activate Krakow, who's here back near the king.
Okay.
And so let's take a look at what we want to do there. 1. Actually, you know what? How about I just do them all? 1, 2, 3. 4. Let's just call that good. See how quick that was?
That's the one thing you can do
All
with
right.
Vassal you can't do with the regular
That's
counters.
right. That's for sure. So I'll roll for initiative. And
Hey,
that one's for
that's
you,
one for
if you
me.
can believe such a thing.
Not quite good enough for a wing, but a wing and a prayer.
No?
That's what I need.
Hmm.
Emphasis on the prayer part.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're Except you're all in the wrong kind of church. We're all good Lutherans up here. You guys are doing it wrong.
Yes, I'm sure. No comment. No comment. All right. So can you have units unlimbered, like a 12-pounder and a howitzer in the same hex? Or does it make sense
Sure.
to have them split? Do they have to fire at the
Um.
same target is my question.
Um. I. I'm pretty sure that guns in the same hex can fire together.
Right, but can they fire separately if I wanted to? If they're
Oh,
stacked in the same hex, can I pick different
oh,
targets? So the 12-pounder
I,
shoots
I,
there, the howitzer
I
shoots
don't
somewhere
know.
else.
I don't know any reason why not. Although you may. I mean, I don't know what the limit is in terms of the number of strength points of artillery. It's still four, isn't it? That can fire.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I just didn't
artillery.
know
It's
as far
four.
as target acquisition. Give me a second. I'll be back.
No, no, I don't think there'd be a problem with that at all.
All right, I have returned.
All right. Uh, okay. So it's over to you to figure out what you've got in mind.
Okay. No, I was just kind of trying to figure out what's an option for stuff. So okay. And then the Grenzers can be activated. They don't have to necessarily be within command of whoever I'm activating, right?
They're independent units, and so they can be activated with any formation.
Okay.
And if there's not a leader nearby, then they would need to roll to activate themselves to, put themselves in command. Um, but again, remember. Well, I mean that's it. Basically, they need to put themselves in command. So
Okay. Cool. Um. Well, let's see then. Who have we got? All right. Well, let's go ahead and um we will activate this guy here, Andlau.
all right, remember him.
Yep. Well, good. And so I don't think there's anybody, and then we'll activate these guns while we're at it.
Okay.
And what's the deal with guns stacking with infantry?
So The guns can only fire if they're on top.
Okay.
They only 4 strength points can fire out of the hex. So obviously, if they're on top, then however many strength points of them there are is all that can fire. And then if there's any left over for the infantry, they could fire as well. Um, they make for a large target because they you multiply the number of increments by 4
Okay.
for artillery for sizing
Okay.
reasons. And then if they're stacked with infantry, I want to make sure I'm saying this right. I think if I think you spread step losses due to fire combat, where the infantry take the first loss and the artillery take the second, and back and forth.
Okay.
So the downside is it does make you a big target.
Right.
The upside is obviously what just happened to that artillery, those 3 pounders, is a whole lot less likely to happen because now you got to fight the infantry too.
Right.
So it makes you more proof against close combat, but it makes you more susceptible to fire combat.
Right. And generally speaking, the 3 pounders would they have been with are they like battalion guns, or
I would
battalion
think
guns
of
are something that's not in this? Because I remember we had battalion guns with those Hessian
right,
units at
exactly,
Brandywine, and so I didn't know, is
exactly.
that what these 3 pounders kind of represent?
I think they were, but those are like, aren't those the only 3 pounders you had, or do you have some others?
I mean, no, I've got a bunch. There's 3 pounders
Oh,
over
do
here.
you?
There's 3 pounders over here. I
Oh shit,
got
you're right. Oh,
how
I
many
did
three
not.
pounders do I have? I've got a whole boatload of 3 pounders.
You're right. They are.
I
They
got
are.
6 3 pounders. Yeah, on the battlefield.
They,
Well,
they
I
feel
got
more like
5 now.
battalion
Thank you,
guns.
Michael.
Hey, hey. Be sure to thank David.
I'll thank David.
Um, no, I would think of 3 pounders as battalion guns, and yet maybe the Austrians just didn't actually use them like battalion guns, and that's why they're actually separate.
Okay.
Whereas I don't have any 3 pounders, which tells me that they're worked into my units.
Okay.
Um, so I'm not 100% sure. Although a lot of times what happens is it's really people will criticize and say, why is it that you're able to fire so effectively at 2 hex range when you know perfectly well a musket wouldn't be any good at that distance? And the argument goes, well, because of battalion guns.
Right.
So really, when you're firing at 2 hexes, really it's mostly the battalion guns doing the work, which suggests that you do have battalion guns. Otherwise, you wouldn't be firing at two
At two
hexes.
hexes
So
range.
maybe they just had just a whole crap ton of 3 pounders. And so they
Right.
actually had some of them in use in separate batteries. Now, the one thing I will warn you about is that the game makes no distinction between the size of a 3 pounder and a 12 pounder in terms of its effect on fire combat. So, in other words, because it's a 3 pounder, it can't dish out very much damage, but it
Right.
does make the target bigger, just like it was a 12 pounder.
Ah, okay.
And, that's probably not completely reasonable, but, a caisson's a caisson's a caisson, right?
Right.
So a lot of what makes it big is probably going to be similar, but it makes them kind of a bad deal, a bad
Right.
bargain. They do help, but they also have a downside.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, let me go ahead and move these guys around then. So these
All
chaps
right.
here, I
Now
think
you
I'm
said
just
you were
gonna.
going to activate those, but you didn't mention the other ones, the ones that are right next to them.
These guys here, yeah, and over
Yeah.
here I got this guy that's part of the command, and then these guns too. So I'll just move the whole lot.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
good.
So these ones are gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 over that way. This guy here, he's gonna go 1, and then that's 2, and then 3.
Okay.
And then next turn, we'll have him shake himself out into something
Mm.
reasonable,
Okay.
right? And
Sure.
there's that. So now this guy's turned, and then he's going to um, go out into
Okay.
a longer line.
Very good.
Um, all right, and then this guy is just going to turn. There's one. This guy's going to turn. This guy's going to go 1, 2, since he's out of
That's.
command.
I was going to say that's probably all he can do
Yeah.
until he gets a
These
little closer.
guys are going to go 1, 2. Can they go over the top of this guy and move?
I don't know that they're going to be able to because well, that's actually an interesting one because ordinarily I would think of this as did a pass through occur? And um, usually you'd say that if you were, why am I having a hard time finding where's the command? Where's the rule? Um, must be under stacking or something. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. If units were of different types or had different facings or had different formations or were in the same facing and formation, but the unit stacking limit, the hexa stacking limit was exceeded, any of those things would cause a pass through. So the truth is they are of different types. So that's enough to cause they can move through, absolutely, but they'd all have to roll a disorder check.
Okay, so what I'll do is with this guy instead, I will just move him 1, 2 right here.
Well, that would be 3.
Oh, you're right, because of that stupid thing.
That stupid thing.
uh, uh, uh,
You could move him the other way. I mean, even though he
well,
goes up the
here,
slope and he has to stop.
we can go there. There's 1, and there's
Okay.
2.
Okay.
All right. And then now these guns can go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, we need to get the guns in the right place. That's more important. All right. And then these guys here, I guess. So you're saying I can unlimber them and they can then fire and I can direct them separately.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why they would need to fire at the same location.
Okay.
And honestly, it doesn't matter, but doubly so because one's a howitzer and the other one's a 12-pounder. I mean, the fall of shot's going to be pretty obvious which is which. So
Okay.
even if they were firing at the same target, it would be obvious to each of them how to correct. But if they're firing at different directions, who cares? They can do whatever they want.
Now, generally speaking, do you stack your your infantry with your artillery?
Honestly, most of the time I end up doing so
You do.
because
Okay.
I do appreciate that I'm running a risk of making a big target, but I don't want to watch my precious guns get run over exactly like just happened to those 3-pounders.
Right.
And so I, I kind of, I make you come and fight me for them.
Right.
So
Okay.
usually I would not leave them by themselves.
Okay. Well, and so
I mean,
that's different than like with a lot of Labatai stuff where you can't stack them unless you got a leader and blah blah blah.
oh well, that's a whole.
Yeah, another kettle of fish.
Don't get me started with that crap because that's absurd. But I don't know. I think the way I usually think of that is they can dish out a lot of punishment, but I mean, all it takes is one cavalry unit just come charging on up
Yeah, and then they're gone.
and
Yeah.
just and run them clean over. All you got to
Okay.
do is survive the defensive fire, and it's just like, oh boy, do I really want to do that, or do I, And the other thing is remember at Prague how little the Prussian guns really played into things.
Right.
because they were advancing. It's kind of hard to really use your artillery while you're advancing, right? So maybe
Right.
being susceptible to gunfire, well, maybe that's not that big of a deal. I mean, eventually I'll get close enough to shoot at you. Well, that's fine.
Right. Okay.
So,
Well,
I think that's why, in general, I tend to stack them with infantry.
okay. I will keep that in mind.
Okay.
So at the moment, I mean, it doesn't make any sense for me to stack. Well, actually, I guess I guess this guy can turn and he can move and then he can move on top of that. So that'd be one, two, and he'd be here, right? And then this guy can stretch out
Three.
and this guy could unlimber. And let's find a
Yes.
uh,
Well,
so this unit here is going to be the
oh,
one that
that
turns.
unit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
because the other guy didn't have enough movement.
yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't figure out how that worked, but okay. Now I'm okay with what's going on now. It all makes sense.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. And so now is, I mean, I want to have the artillery spread out over both hexes. Was it normally in both hexes or it's here and then I got the other stuff there?
Um. Perfectly fair question.
But
I'm
since I can't,
going.
we can't stack on the spine.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, we can't straddle the
Um.
spine on this.
Let me look, because I do seem to remember, and it's really odd. Um. Artillery stacking. Uh, if the infantry is in a multi-hex line hook formation containing oh, I'm going to read that again. It's page 16. I realized that I probably should have backed up one. 10.4D, an unlimbered artillery unit that is stacked with a multi-hex line or hook formation is not placed on any particular hex of the formation. Just place it above or below the infantry counter. When the artillery is is stacked with a square, it must be the top unit in the stack. 10.4E, if the infantry in a multi-hex formation containing unlimbered artillery leaves the hex, it's kind of funny that it says leaves the hex, either by movement, contraction, losses, or etc., the unlimbered artillery is placed in either of the multi-hex formation's original hexes.
Okay.
Um,
So then this
so
guy should be
so
placed there for the purposes, but he's actually in both hexes.
but he's actually in either or both. Yes,
Right.
it's actually a little confusing, but okay. I mean, it, yeah, multi-hex formations kind of just are the bane of rules. They do complicate things considerably.
Okay. All right. Well, good. And so then I think then I understand what to do with this guy because then
Hmm.
in the next turn he'll stretch out over
Yep,
here
yep,
and then I'll
and he'll
have them
just
both.
that's right, that's right. Then you'll have guns everywhere
Guns, guns everywhere.
and not a drop to drink.
There you go. Okay.
Right.
Well, and that's got to be my hope. Okay, cool. So that takes care of Andalus and
Oh, right,
Lao.
right. And Lao. Yep, yep. All
Okay.
right. Very good. Very good. And
I think that
did
was
I
my
roll that
roll.
6-3?
I don't
The
know.
last one I see, the last die roll I see is a 6-3. That's no, that it's your die roll for sure.
Okay, here we go. 46. It's another one for you.
All right. Boy, howdy. All right. Um, 1, 2, 3.
Where are you at?
Oh, I'm sorry. This was just west of the
Oh,
canyon.
okay. More of
It was more
Pennevere's
of Pennevere's, because I mean that's all I
forces.
have left.
Okay.
So I just did one more of those and flipped him over, and he's done. So now it's my roll.
Yep. Oh,
Uh oh.
special something. It's a
It's a
Prussian special
5
something.
for the Prussians. More fire combat or close combat, except I probably don't have anybody that qualifies anymore.
Yeah, because you can't do it twice with the same group, right?
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it twice with the same group, and nobody else is in a position to do any. I don't even think I have any guns unlimbered yet, which makes sense because
You've
I'm
only got the
advancing. So
one. You've got the one gun
where?
that's unlimbered over here, but you don't have anything to shoot at because
Uh, uh,
you've got stuff that's blocking your line of sight, right?
yeah, it looks like it's a half blocked
Yeah.
because
But
it's
besides, he's still part. Well, actually, he's not part of anything, is he? He's independent. So
he's an independent unit, but I think if we read the rule, it's going to say that it would have to be a leader and the units that are within his command radius and any independent unit stacked with those units. But the point is it's him, it's
right,
Hulson,
yeah, and you
and
already
and
activated
he's
Holson.
already
Yeah.
done it. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that it's moot. We'll just carry on
Okay.
then. I will roll again, this time with feeling.
That's another one for
That
you,
will
but that
actually move the
pushes the
end
clock.
turn marker. All right. And all right, then we will go to the other side to Norman up here, a little further west on the north side of the
Yep. Yep.
Kaiserstrasse.
I
And
remember Norman.
oh, how could you not? It's one of your good buddies.
Well, he was with the bunch of the light cavalry there at our little engagement
At
at
Prague.
Prague. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, so that's 6. The movement there. Boom, and done. And over to you.
All right. Let's see what we get. An 11. That's
Oh,
one
we're
for
never
you.
going to get anywhere playing it like that. Come on, man. Okay. Boy. I mean, I guess I could go ahead and do Schoneich. He's way out here to the
Yep.
west.
Yep. Yep.
Again, should
I
be a
know.
familiar name for you.
Well, he got killed at our play of
That's
of
right.
Prague.
That's right. Yeah. Let's see how
So
well
this
that
is
worked for you.
the ghost of Shonach.
Okay. Yep. All right. So that's that. Yeah. Maybe his aide de camp just decided to keep collecting his salary and is forging his papers.
That sounds about right. That's
Yeah. I mean, you got to do something, man. All right. So I will roll now. A 7 for you.
oh,
And that is a
okay.
special rally.
A special rally. Well, I don't have anybody. Oh no, I do. I've got those guys that all disordered down here, don't I? That
Uh,
were that were part
oh,
of
yeah. All the
Pueblo's group.
movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that cleans 2 of them out right away. The ones
Okay.
that are stacked with, right? Those
Yep.
are automatic. And then so you only need to roll for the 1.
All right. Let's roll and see what we get. 52. I think that's going to be
There
good
you
enough
go.
even for these guys.
Yep.
All right.
All right then. And I'll roll again, I guess, because I rolled that. Okay,
Oh,
that
that's
is
another big
another
one.
advance and a
Another
wing
wing
activation for
activation.
you because it's a 94, yeah.
Yep. I'll go over here to the eastern end of the field to Nadazdi,
Mm-hmm.
my light or my cavalry leader over there, and see if we
Right,
can't
right.
roll anything but a 9. Well, we rolled a 7. So he's
That is
activated. So
not a
Kolin,
9. Well,
that is
well
not a
played.
9. All right. So let's get these. Well, let's deal with these guys here that are out of command. So they can only move half. So their movement is 4, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So they're just all going to follow along the guy here. So that's going to be 1, 2 and a half. And this is going to be 3 and a half. And there's 4.
Okay.
And they just all play follow the leader there.
Um. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Um.
And this guy didn't. The he was going sideways on the
ac-
slope, right?
No, he wasn't actually. He would have had to have gone up the slope if he'd followed the exact path, because the other guy moved forward 1 hex after he turned.
Okay.
But you could have just done it differently. I mean,
There
you
we
would have
go.
gotten to the same result. Well, okay, you could do that too. Okay.
Yeah,
Piece
because I
of
could have
pie.
because I could have turned here and gone up. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of
Okay.
ways you could have avoided it, so don't worry about it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
All right, let's go over here with these guys who I sent off on a fool's errand. Um, let's get them back where they should have been. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can't. It's too much. Well, going across the stream is
5, 6. I think that's all it
plus.
would be.
It says it's +2 for
Is it
going across
really?
the stream. Yeah, cavalry in line. So
Oh, wow, it
yeah,
sure is. Okay, yeah, it's a lot more impact on the horses
1,
than
2,
I thought.
3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and this guy's gonna go 1, and that's gonna be 2, 3, 4, and that's gonna be 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they're all in command for what little it's worth. All right, I don't need to do anything else, but I can move. Um, I can move him here, and we'll just flip him over. All right, now, Haddock. Haddock with a paddock.
Makes a fine breakfast.
Indeed. You've got your guns there. Um, oh, let's see. And I guess I'll activate the Grenzers, or at least this Grenzer while I'm at it. Do I have to roll for him?
Yeah, there's not any commanders anywhere near him,
Nope.
so they're going to have to roll to put themselves in command.
Okay. Let's see if we can do that. And 82. They
That would
do
be
it.
one.
Okay. So I'm going to fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will fire here at this guy. So I'm going to have 15 to 10. So it's going to be 1.5 to 1. And then I'm shooting you in the flank. So then that pushes it up to 2 to 1.
Well, now, yes, it would be 2 to 1. Why? I believe we have a visitor.
A visitor?
A visitor.
A
It's Mr.
visitor.
Plock.
Ah,
Great Scott.
Yes.
evening, gents.
How was your 12-hour drive from Florida?
It was hell.
Wow.
That has got to be the worst trip I have ever been on.
Wow.
I mean, first couple hours weren't too bad, and then all of a sudden we hit Wildwood, where the turnpike meets 75, and it was just, the traffic was horrendous, and it was just accident after accident after
Oh,
accident.
wow.
It was supposed to take
Oh, that tryptophan.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
supposed to take 7.5 hours, took over 11. So
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Man,
no
that's
more,
miserable.
no more than that. 13. Yeah,
Oh,
we left at about um, 950.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah, that's not great. Well, it could have been worse. You could have been one of the Grenzers in the walled church.
Uh,
Or I mean, it was bad enough for the grenadiers attacking
I
the
was going
walled
to say, it
church.
was no picnic for the
Yeah,
Grenadiers
yeah.
either.
All right, so let me take a shot at 2 to 1. There doesn't look like there's any pluses or minuses, so let's just see what we get. A 39 at 2 to 1 is a big fat nothing. Oh well,
Wow, that is a big fat nothing. You gotta
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Okay then.
I
All
needed to
right.
do a little bit better to make something
Yep.
happen.
Just an actually literally just a little bit better.
Yeah.
But oh well. All right.
Now, if I move back, then you'd get opportunity fire at me. Is that correct?
Absolutely
So it
yes.
doesn't make any sense for him to do that just yet.
It's probably not. I
Yeah.
mean,
Because he's going to get
no.
shots at people if they try to move anywhere. And
Yeah, he's gonna get shots at them if they try to attack him. Although he could just choose to just leave
right.
if they try to attack him. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know that he needs to be in a rush.
Okay. That's good.
He's a speed bump and he's doing his job very
Yep.
well.
All right. So we mark him as finished. This guy here, I think we should probably, I mean, and seeing where you're at, try to activate him so he can turn and face that way.
Oh, sure.
So let's see. Yeah, he's gets his act together. So I can go there, and
Okay.
that way he can shoot at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really tempted to charge or try to do a cavalry charge against your disordered infantry.
Well, it wouldn't be anything but my good buddy Eric if you didn't think about doing cavalry charges.
Charge early,
Um,
charge often.
yeah, as many as times as it takes. Okay, so
I mean, I'd have to
let's
move
give you.
over there, and I'd have to make a
Yeah,
disorder check to get through the village. And
um,
passing that, then I'd have to pass to see if I can do
yeah,
the close combat.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there'd be kind of a number of things you'd have to work out there. That's for sure.
But if I could
Blocks,
pull it off,
lineups.
that would be good because you're only at half of your, because you're disordered, you're only worth, so you'd only
Oh
be
no,
firing at me with half and you'd only be meleeing with
absolutely.
half.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it would be a lot of twisting and bending to get there because I think you'd have to be to here because you
Because I
got
have
to
to have
get
a line of sight on
you
you.
got to have line of yeah you got to have line of sight and so you couldn't do it from here. So anyway, it's going to be a
Yeah.
little tricky to get there. The field works
Well, the
cost a
village costs
ton to
3.
cross.
Well, I'm not going to cross the field works because there's,
Well, I was just looking
yeah,
at different options for
yeah.
you.
So if I
That's
go
all.
here, 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 but the village itself costs 3 to go through. So that would be 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
4,
Turning would
and
be
then
5, 6, and 7 gets me there, but I'm not facing the right way.
yeah, well, you'd have to rapid march then if
Yeah.
you wanted to do it, which obviously increases the risk. I mean, it doesn't really increase the risk; it just means you're disordered. But
But if I'm disordered, I can't launch an attack, can I?
I know you can't if you're shaken. That's a good question. It would be rare that you'd try because obviously, you're giving up a bit of advantage, right?
Yeah.
A non-disordered cavalry, not in an enemy zone of control. Yeah. So no. Yeah, you have to be non-disordered. Someone just disappear?
Possibly. No, I mean,
I think
David's still.
David just disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well, he
1,
dropped off of the
2,
Discord.
3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he's facing the wrong way, so he'd have to rapid march a little bit, and he's still got to do a disorder check. So he's gonna have a +10 disorder.
That was interesting.
Just dropped briefly.
My Discord just dropped. Everything else
Oh,
stayed on.
Hmm.
well, yeah. Notice that the vassal still had you up, so not really sure what that's all about.
No,
Um.
I will forgo it for the moment.
Oh man. Okay, that's great. Okay. Well, what are they gonna do?
You know, you're just tempting me. You're tempting me to do
Oh,
it.
nonsense.
Okay, we're
I
gonna
can't
do
think
it.
of it.
We're gonna do it.
I can't think of
So there's
anything
one.
better than having your disordered infantry staggering or cavalry staggering around. All right. So what are you doing?
That's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. They're gonna turn. That's gonna be 5. They'll go here 6. They got to
Okay.
go here 7, and then they got to turn
Yeah.
one more is 8.
Actually, here's what I'm going to
Is it
recommend.
even worse?
You do 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The reason I did it that way was because if you had to turn there, then that was yet another
Oh,
+5.
okay.
And why do that if you don't have to,
There
right? So
you
you
go.
turn before you go in, and so you can march straight through. And so yeah, all right. So they are okay, and that's +10 then for their disorder check.
Because they went through the village?
Well, they went through the village and they rapid marched because otherwise they
Oh,
wouldn't have been
okay.
able to face the right way.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
combination of those two makes +10.
All right, let's see if we get lucky. We do not.
I don't think so. Those guys aren't that good.
No, they're not that good at all. Yeah, not with a +10.
No.
So they're going to be
E-
disordered.
Even without the +10, they would have been
Yeah.
disordered. All right, so they're disordered. So no fun and games there, but it'll be a good time extracting them. So that's a good time all the way around.
Not at all. I'm going to get the jump on you next turn and
Is that how this
charge.
works?
That's how
Okay,
it's going to
all
work.
right.
I'm going to get lucky.
Be the ball, Danny.
Yep, yep, that's
All
it.
right,
All right,
very
let's get
good.
these other guys turned around here.
All right.
So these guys are going to turn 1, 2, 3, and they're going to come over here like that. And these guys here on the end, they're going to come here like that. Whoops. And they could just turn and turn around.
They could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'd be where they are right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. These guys, we're just going to make another line back here, I guess. So we've got a backup.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. That's
Okay. And then these
easily enough
guys are going
done.
to go. And we will have, let's just turn them around. Same thing.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I think I've got something approaching a line.
Anything resembling anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That was my big wing ding activation.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, very good then.
David can roll.
David can roll.
David can roll. David won't have anything else to do because I've already moved all of his units, but that's okay.
So, sure.
Oh, that's another one for the
Right.
Prussians.
It's another one for the Prussians.
You've got
okay. Well, as it
one
happens, I think
command
the
left.
Prussians only have one command left, so that will make it a little easier. All right. So we will go ahead and activate. What's his name? Uh, Krozig. What a weird name.
Yes.
Where did they find these guys?
They're
All
probably
right.
mercenaries.
Yeah.
I've got probably an O'Reilly or something like that in my
Oh,
group.
you
Yeah.
probably. I'm almost
I've
certainly.
got
All
an
right. So that's
O'Donnell
one,
somewhere.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and flip, and then kind of trying to decide what I want to do here. I guess I will go ahead and move Penavere. Um, hmm. Just move him there for laughs. And I don't know how urgent it is for me to move the king. So I just don't think I will. So that's it for the Prussians. That was the last one. So we just need to get the rest of the Austrians moved,
Yep.
and we can declare victory.
There you go. I agree.
All right.
Time for you
So
to
I think
throw
it's
some
my
dice. Yeah.
roll. All right. And
Oh,
that's another advance of the clock.
and
But it's
another
awfully early in the
wing.
day. Another wing. Wow. Yeah,
Yep.
we have
Yeah.
gotten a ton of wings here.
Oh yeah.
So, David, have you had a chance to look around and see the mess that I have wrought with your guys?
I'm glancing here,
Okay.
scrolling around and looking at the, you know.
Of course,
All
I
right.
guess the real advantage is you can actually look later on YouTube and see what I did.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to catch up on whatever.
It was pretty wild, actually. It, it was in keeping with the historical example of the Prussian formed infantry having all kinds of difficulty with the light skirmishers.
All right. I'm going to try to activate. Who is this guy? Sir Baloney. Sir
Oh,
Baloney.
oh,
He's
baloney.
got a value of 7. Let's see if we can do that or less. An 8. Well, fiddlesticks.
All right, so no rapid march for you.
Oh, but we still get the wing?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were trying to do a wing. No,
Yeah.
you get nothing and like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, sir, can
So,
I have another?
Lisa.
All right. So
All
then
right.
that's it. We just lost the entire initiative.
Yeah, that's right. So
Okay.
now you roll for initiative.
Okay. Well, that's one for us then. So I guess I'll have to do.
Actually, it's not. That's a tie.
I know. Oh, so we have to roll again?
You gotta roll again.
All right.
And
That
now that
advances the
advances
clock.
the time clock. See,
But
that's
now
why
I
the
get to do
ties
one,
matter.
right? There you
And
go.
you get to do one activation.
Okay. So let's see. We will activate Veed and these guns.
So many familiar names.
I know. I know.
It's hysterical.
All right. So let's go ahead and move these guys up. So that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. And then I'm going to have them turn. So that's going to be 4. And that's going to be 5. Kind of gets everybody, well, 5.5. 6 gets us here, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy, the second guy now is, I think, at the end of his movement.
All right.
So if you're going to keep the line together, then yeah. All right.
All right, and then everybody else, these guys can all advance.
Gonna get the last one gets held
1,
up by 1 hex.
2,
Yeah.
3, and this guy would be 1, 2, 3, and
Right.
then I'll just move everybody else a half.
Mm-hmm.
4 gets in there, and then V
Right.
needs to be 1, 2, 3. Just move him forward 1, 2, 3, and then everybody is in command. All right, we might just make it onto that stupid hill in time. All right, the artillery's
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All right, that was it for that command. Time for something completely different. David gets to roll the dice.
Roll the dice again.
Ah, another big one.
Oh, and we're getting some big numbers
one.
now.
Yeah.
Of course, with all the wing activations we've had, it may not really cost the Austrians anything, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and let's try to get Schoenig somewhere. Oh, you've got Schoenig here. Who are my guys? That's Starnberg. All right. Well, we'll figure things out here, won't we? You've just got a boatload of heavy cavalry, don't you? Okay, well, let's go ahead and activate this guy. And we'll activate this grenadier while we're at it. So the grenadier is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Get him over there where he might be able to help out. All right, and then these guys. Let's see. They will turn. There's 1, 2. And this guy's going to go here. That's 3. And then 4. He'll form into line. This guy's going to go here and go into line. This guy is going to turn. That's going to be 1, 1.5, 2.5, 3. And then that's going to be 3.5. 4 goes there. And this guy can go. And we'll just put him in line there like that. These guys 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. This guy's going to turn 4. Come on, work with me. 5 and then 6. No. There we go. All right. So they are done. All right. It's back to you, I think, Michael, or I'm not sure whose turn it is. I think David.
Yeah, I think it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
46. That's
right,
another one
that's
for me.
1 for you.
All right, so we'll activate this chap. This is O'Donnell. Here's my Irishman.
Ah, good.
And
good,
we'll activate
Austrian
these guns while we're at it. So, let's see. All right, so these guys are going to turn. That's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. And then we can get one of the guys over here, 4, and they can turn. All right, and these guys here, they can go 1 and turn. That's 2, 3, and they can turn again 4, or they can actually just go in a line, right? And 5, 6, and they're there. 1, 2, it's 1.5, 2. Okay, these guys are going to go here. Come on, split them up. Okay. There's O'Donnell. Let's flip him over. And let's rotate him so he's not as annoying. And Sir Baloney is here, and we'll flip him while we're at it. And the guns are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And they will be marked as finished. Okay. So goes that little group of people. My turn. Oh, another big one.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think you're still going to make it.
All right, I got these guys here. So
I'm sorry, where's here?
these guys here, they are
See him.
Starnhem. Starnhem. So
Darnenberg. Oh,
yep.
all right.
Yep. So let's see. I got to figure out where I'm going to put all these people. Where I have some semblance of a line. Okay, these guys will go forward. There's 1. And that's going to be 2. And let's see, then that's going to be 3 and 4. So that's about as far as they can go. 1, 2, 3. There's 1, 2, 3.5. All right, and then these guys back here. 1.5, 2.5, 3. Right. I think that's as far as they can go. So 1. So that guy was there. So that's 1.5, 2.5, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. And then we'll move these 3 pounders while we're at it. So 1, 2, and 3 gets them there. Okay. All right, it's back to David.
Okie-doke. Hey, a little one.
A little baby one.
Muy pequeño.
All right, who hasn't gone anywhere yet? Well, we've got cavalry. That hasn't moved yet. I'm going to activate Castiglione here. He's got some cavalry. So we are going to, these guys are going to, we're going to turn. So there's 1, 2, 3. Um, 4, 5. And I guess 1 more can be 6. There we go. And this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he's going to go here and fleep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. He's got everybody. Okay. That's it for that.
Okay. And is that me then?
Mhm.
You still
Yep,
have anybody
I
to
do.
activate?
I've still got.
You do.
I got Burke or Bach
Okay.
or whoever that guy is.
Bark,
Bark.
bark. Okay, that is also a tie, and it advances the time. So maybe he'll make it, maybe not. So I'll roll again. And that's a special result 2 for the Austrians.
Special result 2.
Army leader lapse right at the end of the turn. What a ridiculous thing. So the army leader may not trace his line of command or use his command rating. So that means that it's now +5
Right.
for the. Okay. And everyone's going to have to roll to put themselves in command because nobody can trace command. Okay. And it just came back off because that's how this one works. I don't think I've ever actually seen that happen twice in a row, but apparently it can.
Oh, you just
So
rolled the
never.
same thing. Okay.
Yeah. Get army leader lapse. It's like a binary switch.
Okay.
Every time you hit it, it either turns it on or turns it off.
Well, roll again. See if
Okay.
you can get another one.
Yeah. Well, we can do it again. Oh,
No.
darn it! I'm really screwed that one up. So okay. Well, that's one over to you then.
Okay. So let's go ahead and move Beck, who's over here in the far reaches of the universe.
Oh, right, that guy.
Yeah, and I think we'd realize that. Let's see. Well, let's go ahead and move the cavalry. So that's 1, 2, and then 2.5. Turning, it's 3.
Turning it'd
4.
be 3.5.
3.5. 4.
Yeah.
There's 5. And there's 6 over there. All right, these guys are all Grenzers in skirmish mode because that's all they can be. So
Right.
what is the skirmishers? Skirmishers are half and then moving across the bridge. Did we figure
Well, they
out
can't
what
move
that
across the
was?
bridge. They can't move across the bridge. They have to move across the creek itself, which is +2.
+2 for skirmishers. Okay.
Right.
All right. And
And
moving
and
into the
then
village cost
the
1.
village is 1. Right.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, it's kind of a mess, isn't
it
it?
is kind of a mess. Okay, so
'Cause that
this
means-
guy's so they can go a little bit forward, but this guy can basically only go 1 hex from the looks of it, right?
Because it cost him it cost him
It costs him 3 to
3.
move there, yeah.
So he could keep moving,
Oh, okay.
right?
So then that's going to be
Yeah.
4.
Yeah,
4.
Right.
Right. And
Absolutely.
these
yeah.
2 guys, it's costing them 1
Well, that
to
just
move
cost
into
him
it.
1 to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4 would be just to get across the creek.
Yep. Okay. So they're across the creek.
Yeah. So
Okay.
not too bad.
Nope,
All
not
right.
too bad.
And then put the commander somewhere.
Can both the skirmishers be in the same square there?
Oh,
I don't.
that's a good question. Uh, no. No, you're right. 3 is the stacking limit for units in skirmish. So anybody who's stacked needs to be unstacked.
Why do I have so
Oh,
many all
oh,
of a sudden? Oh, because I have a whole bunch. All right.
okay.
So some of these
Well,
people just have
no,
to hang back.
were you obliged to set them up in skirmish? Were you obliged to set them up broken down like that?
That's how they were in the thing. I don't know, rule
Hmm.
wise.
Let's take a look, because maybe the right answer is maybe they should all be in their 6'4" size, which means that they're skirmish eligible, but
I
they're
no,
not
I think they
skirmish
had to. I
mandatory.
think they had to set up as
Okay.
skirmishers. I think that was what the thing
Okay.
had
Well,
said. Yeah.
that's what I wanted to check. Yeah. Um,
All right. This guy can move. He's gonna move. That's gonna be 1
actually, it
and
says
2.
Bro and GRD can set up as parent or breakdown units. Isn't that Bro and GRD?
It is.
Are, are we playing scenario? What is
5.
scenario 5? Yeah, they can be set up as parent or breakdown units.
Okay. Well, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're just, yeah, I think they're fine where they are.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can see the advantage of being able to put them in the parent unit and then being able to put them in road.
Right.
Actually move them a little more elegantly. Okay. All right.
Elegance.
What else we got? Oh, yeah,
I laugh in the face at
Grenzers.
elegance.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
All right.
I think it's
I
my
think
roll.
think it is your role. Yeah.
72. That's 1 for me. And it's a
No,
it's a wing.
no. Oh no, yeah, it is actually. It would have been a tie, except
Yeah.
for the fact that the army laps came back off, so it's
Yeah.
not a tie. Okay.
All right. Who have we got left? We've got this guy here.
Well, who's his main commander?
Who's
Dawn.
main commander? Dawn.
He's Dawn has moved, so
No, Dawn has not moved. Dawn is here. He hasn't moved yet.
where is he?
I don't think he
Dawn
has
is
moved
right
this
here.
turn.
He hasn't moved this turn.
Oh, who's
Ah.
the other Dawn I saw? I saw it.
There's a cavalry leader that's named Dawn, who's
Must be
over
who I
That's
here.
saw.
annoying.
Yeah, who's way out on the
Nepotism
east.
will get you every time.
Yeah. So that is the cavalry general.
Yeah, I saw
Not
the
the
name and
same.
I thought that was the leader.
Not the
Hmm.
same. Probably related in some particular way.
I would imagine they're probably sixth cousins.
That's usually the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now let's see who's left. We've got Coal Rat. Yep. And Woolworth. And Stompatch. So Stompatch is the overall leader. Okay. And what's his wing? He's a 7 as well. He's actually not bad, all things considered, but okay. We'll go ahead and move these guys. So we'll go ahead and do these guys that are here in the front. And then we've got these 2 independent units that are within command of this chap. So they're all just going to turn. So there's 1. And then
What's this big stack of
2,
things there?
3, 4, and then they're going to turn back 5.
Sorry, what were you looking at, David?
This stack right here,
Give me some guidance, please.
just to the left of where he was moving.
Oh, those are a bunch of little cavalry things.
Or are they all?
Yeah, right. Yeah, for some reason, all of them were flipped over. I'm not sure why. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had actually just moved
Yep.
not long ago.
Yep, they were part of this exciting command here.
Yeah, they
Oh.
are
They
truly
are
terrifying.
they are skirmish cavalry. So I have to figure out how to use them.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
They basically just take up space.
Okay.
Consume oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Are we back to me?
Yeah. Oh, there's another
Go.
one.
And that is the end turn. So whatever units you have left can't move unless they're in road column, which they aren't.
Shocking.
Yeah.
So that was just this one little group of cavalry did not have a
Okay.
chance to move. Otherwise, I think
Okay.
everybody else
Well, I mean, as
got where they
troubles
needed
go,
to
that
go.
not too bad, really.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So,
And they didn't have anything else they needed to do right now, like no disorder recovery or anything like that. So basically, they're just
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Okay. All good. Okay, then. I'm gonna say that that then we would move on to the rally phase, which should be pretty brief considering we haven't really done a whole lot yet. And we'll roll to see who goes first. You go first. Do you have anybody who's shaken?
Um, I've I don't think I got
Think
anybody
you
who's
do.
shaken. I've just got
I
somebody
don't
who's
think you
disordered.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just got the one who's
Yeah.
disordered. So otherwise, I think you're in pretty good shape. And so if that's the case, and nobody routed either,
Mm-hmm.
so then we will go to us, and I'll try to clean up the mess I made, David, because we've got shaken units there by Krechor Village, which unfortunately are right there in the thick of it all. This one is in an enemy zone of control, shaken, disordered, so he's at plus 25 for the combination of those. So it'd be nice if we could roll well enough to get out of that. Nope. And then this one is is plus 20 for shaken and in an enemy zone of control. So plus 20. And he's even worse. Excellent. Yeah, this is really working out very well. The king will have an apoplectic fit. So we got that going for us. And I think that does it for the turn. 2 o'clock.
There you go.
Very
All
cool.
right.
So did we press the button to flip everything, I guess?
Yeah, go ahead. Press the button, flip things. There you go. Like
Voila.
magic. And then I press save game. And this is 1440 start. And there we go. All right.
So was this
yeah,
this was the end of the 2 o'clock turn, right?
That's right. Exactly.
Okay.
That's right. So we're just starting 220 next time we meet. And so basically what happened, David, is I just went ahead and thought, well, I'll just go ahead and shove these Grenzers out of this village. And the defensive fire, or excuse me, the opportunity fire managed to disorder one battalion and and then another disordered and then was shaken from opportunity fire. And so then when it was time to decide, do I want to go ahead and go in for close combat, I'm kind of doing so without all the units I'd like. And so uh, I end up not being able to do close combat against these guys at all because everybody in front of them is shaken. So then the guy who was here had to attack these 3-pounder guns that were by themselves, and then this poor 4-4 grenadier unit had to attack the walled church alone. So
I see.
this was not great.
Not
Yeah.
ideal.
Um, so these guys took a lot of casualties, but did take the guns. Okay, but now they're disordered and half dead, so that's not great. These guys attacked with what was it? It was like 1 to 1.5 -1, I think. Is
Yeah.
that right,
Yeah.
Eric?
Yeah.
But then I rolled a special result and we both end up losing 2 increments. Well, these units aren't very big. Losing 2 increments was already bad news. And then the the skirmishers actually had to roll first for their morale check by one
Yeah. And they
because
missed by
because
one.
they were at 40 instead of at 39, and then
Yeah.
they missed, and then they routed, and of course routing they lost their last
Yeah.
increment, so they just vaporized.
Yeah.
So the good news is we took the walled church. The bad news is there's 300 dead grenadiers for our trouble.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It was,
yeah,
that was, yeah, because we did, you've got what? 3 losses there, 4 losses on the other chap. The guys who
yeah, so
got
that's
shot
7,
lost 1, so that's 8.
8.
8 for my
uh
3 grenadiers and the battery.
yeah, and depending upon how the game, pretty sure. Actually, though, I think guns actually count for 2 for army morale purposes. So actually, that means that it would be 7 to 8. So it's actually closer than it looks.
Well, no, because so the guns count for 2 for every increment,
Yeah.
because in the other games they just counted as
No,
1 or
actually,
something.
in the other games, it was even worse than that. It was half for each, which was really mysterious to
Huh.
me.
Okay.
I'm sorry, when I say that, I mean the American Civil,
Yeah, the
the American
American
War of Independence
independence.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you'll find here that it's actually um, you mark off 2 boxes for, yeah, in fact you'll see if you go to the Austrian army morale chart, for example, where you look at the army loss record, where you get the big grid for you to mark off all the losses.
Right.
You say you mark 1 loss box for every SP of infantry or cavalry lost, but you mark 2 loss boxes for each SP of artillery lost.
Oh, I'm trying to find where the batteries are. I'm looking at the
Well,
one
the tech
that's on the thing. Lost chart number 2. Oh, there you go.
on the
So
right.
there's, yeah,
So
well they have two increments, right? So that's just 1 for each increment, right?
no, because it would it. Okay. Are you looking at the printed out values, or are you looking in
Well,
the
I was
Vassal
looking on the
module?
vassal, but I'll get out of the
Okay.
vassal because who knows
No,
what
no,
that
because
is.
if I'm just looking at the same thing you're looking at, then that's easier. So if I look at the Austrian, oh, that's not what I want. Where's the lost charts?
So yeah, I mean it's there's there's
Oh,
there's
come
there's a
on.
box for
Okay,
each
there.
increment, so it's
No, no,
worth
there is. No, no,
2.
you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. But go to. Uh, okay, go to Austrian loss number 3 on the Vassal module,
Okay, give me a second.
and yep, that's all right.
Austrian loss number 3. Okay.
Right, and then scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
And on the right, where you'll see the table Army morale result, the 50, 100, 150, 200, where you actually would record uh, your Army morale result.
Okay.
Down underneath there, it says Army loss record. It says mark 1 loss box per SP of infantry or cavalry lost. Mark 2 loss boxes per SP of artillery lost.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I see that. It's
So
also on the printed one. It's the same thing.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. I figured I could more easily direct you on the vassal module, but yeah, it's the same thing. So the morale impact of losing a battery of guns was greater than a strength point of infantry
Right.
or cavalry.
Okay.
So
N-
so in
Now,
that
which one,
sense,
when we get down to that, which one are we going to use? Because I do notice that when you do the army morales levels, it's different on the two.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. We will definitely use the printed values from the website.
Okay. Yeah.
And yes, we've even noticed some other subtleties, like even some of the terrain effects charts aren't the same
Yeah.
between them. So
Yeah. I
definitely
figure if we use the printed one, then we're uniform across the board, as
and
opposed to
it's the
yeah.
current official
Yeah.
one, so that's, to me, that's the right one to use. But yeah, so yeah, it took us 8 losses um, to and really didn't even achieve that much. I mean, yeah, we got rid of those guns, which was nice because they were a nuisance, and took the walled church, which is lovely. But there's another skirmisher unit still there, able to take shots. So, and I don't really have anything I can use to deal with them in the short term. So the next 20 minutes are probably going to be pretty hot. What are you going to do? All right. Well,
Fun and games.
that is the fun that Frederick had at this battle. So it's all good.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Well, pleasure as always. Eric and I were talking about our schedule for next week.